I love Kitty D123. Cauliflower rice taco bowl thing sounds cool.
Showman said,
I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts, diddly-dee. There
"Diddly-dee,
they are, standing in a
standing in a row."
row. Big
One
ones, small ones, some.
see ahead. Give him
Anyways,
a
hi
kick of
everybody, and
that.
welcome to the Derailed Podcast, episode 16, subtitled The Forgotten Jams of D&D.
There stands me wife, the idol of me life, singing roll a bowl a ball a penny a bit.
And Took has completely lost his mind because, well, we drug him out of the basement to beat him recently.
I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts and candy corn. There it is, all sitting in a pile.
Yes.
So, of course, I am the Jackie. We are joined by Regis, Shadow, the Took, and Wah,
Nope.
the man whose name keeps getting shorter. It started off as True Warficus. Now it's Wah.
What?
Worf sounds
What's up?
tired.
He is tired. He's always tired. He had to deal with me snoring last night.
Oof.
Nope.
I'm sorry, Worf. No one should have to deal with that. Have you
Yeah.
tried suicide? It's the only way.
Hey, we can't
I'm a
advocate
Canadian
for
doctor.
we can't advocate for suicide. It's called MAID, okay?
It's
Yes.
called Canadian healthcare.
It is called Canadian healthcare.
Yes. Let's go get made.
You know, I thought Botrix had said it had currently joined the channel.
Hmm?
Botrix. Anyways. So how is everybody? What's up, Anarchy? How is everybody?
I'm alive.
What's been going on since the last episode?
Well,
Not much, really.
No.
my tablet bugged out and I lost the progress on my VTuber model I was drawing, so...
By the way,
Awesome.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry post-Christmas. And what a Merry Christmas it was. Anarchy says hi, Shadow.
Nope.
If you would like to kidnap Shadow, he lives in...
He'd enjoy it too much. He's British. We have to give him nothing but pain and suffering.
Yeah,
It's
but
the rules.
you just said he's already experiencing that. He's British.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck.
Oh my God.
Anyways, Regis says he's played the new Kill Team, and I am curious of his opinions. Because I have yet to play.
Okay, so I played like maybe one match of Kill Team 2, so I can't speak to the differences as to between Kill Teams 2 and 3. However, Kill Team 3 I find very fun. I'm new to Kill Team and we still completed the match in under 2 hours. So it's a very simple game mode. I played Deathcore and I was fighting Corsair Void's Guard. So I was playing basically Guardsman versus Eldari, you know, the classic matchup, and it was actually really fun. Deathcore, from what my friend has said, are kind of doing shit. They're the second worst, unfortunately, according to him. That said, they're still really fun. and they don't play that differently from Guard on tabletop, like proper 40k.
Well, they would, but yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. They shouldn't play differently, but
Yeah, but it is GW we're talking about.
Also
that
true.
is entirely fair. But
But yeah,
yeah, it's really fucking fun. And since the rules are free online, so you can always play it yourself.
that is one change that I like about Kill Team 1. Kill Team 1's fucking rules were not free.
Kill Team 1 and 2's were not free. Kill Team 3 is.
But I did like how fast Kill Team was. So I will probably eventually, hopefully, check it out.
If you got tabletop sim, one of these days.
You're talking about me. I forget to breathe.
Fair enough.
But
yeah, I'd happily play with you. But
yeah.
no, like I said, I'm relatively new to the Kill Team side of the hobby, and we still beat it. Well, I say beat. We still finished it in under 2 hours, a little over actually, but close enough. So
That was what I liked about Kill Team, was that it was faster.
yeah,
It's also why I liked Undervault so much. Or Winter Vault, whatever it was in fantasy.
I do have one problem with Kill Team, and this doesn't matter if you're playing online. But a lot of times when I look into Kill Team, like in GW, will be like advertising like a limited run set with a bunch of units you will never be able to get again. That kind of
yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah, but that's GW for you.
Online, I'm sure it's fine though.
It's like Blackstone Fortress. Yeah. Yeah, those limited run specialty games. Even the really good ones. Or how GW treats people that liked Battlefleet or Battlefleet Gothic.
God rest their souls.
This game never existed. We don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, I get it. Kill Team was fun the few times I've played it. Obviously, I don't have the time to sit down and play a full game of Warhammer 40k. Just don't. Takes too long. I always end up playing
Kill
against
Team
the
would be
orc
perfect for you then.
Yeah, I always end up playing against the orc player who has to dump a bucket of dice every turn.
You've been shooting for 9 hours! Hold on, hold on, hold on. I get another roll. Rolls 1 dice.
Hello.
How to play
Hi.
Kill Team and win.
Oh no, we're
Play
joined by
orcs.
Riley.
Roll.
A guy whose
Hello?
podcast I invaded while he was away.
Here, there.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Hi,
Hi, Riley.
Hello.
But yeah.
Riley's dead.
Apparently.
But yeah, back to the conversation. Yeah, for the
No! Anyway.
yes. But no, for anybody looking to get into 40k, but they don't know if they want to enjoy the setting, which is fair because the setting's not for everybody. Kill Team is perfect for you. It's honestly not all that different from modern 40k, 10th edition. So
That's good. Where does Combat Patrol stack up in this, though?
It has been so long since I played a combat patrol game. Like, Jackie, my minimum game size is 2K. Because I play guard. I need tanks. I need chimeras. I can't play at 1,000 points because I'll just fucking fail every time.
I don't get out
Meanwhile,
of
for
bed
the
for
orcs.
less than 2,000 points.
Yeah.
Right. I don't get out of bed. I don't get out of bed as late as a 3,000 point.
God, I'd love to find a fucking 3K game.
But yeah, no, I'm just curious there. Because, like, I do tend to like smaller games because they go faster. And I have a lot of limited time.
Yeah. The
And
kill
if
team's perfect for it.
anybody's been wondering what I've been doing over Christmas, I have been subjecting to early 2000s anime.
Okay, only one of them was
Hell
bad.
yeah.
Oh, that wasn't early 2000s. The one that was bad was not early 2000s.
When the fuck was that thing made?
I think 2015.
It needs to be banned.
Let me look. Because everybody gets it confused with the other one.
You already had your bone. You're fine.
But yeah, so I've been subjecting to the dot hack animes.
Which aren't bad.
Nope. Before that, I was subjecting him to Gundam Build Divers.
That is bad.
2018.
What's wrong with Gundam Build Divers? Sounds pretty cool.
What isn't wrong with Gundam Build Divers?
I see.
All right,
I
everyone,
see.
grab your popcorn.
It's going to be a long and involved thing. So, part 1 of 5,822 of What's Wrong with Gundam Build Divers. Example 1. The main characters. Their faces, their existence, everything about them, their voice actors, their existence.
That was all one reason, by the way.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the rest of it now.
Wow.
Strap in, you're going to be here a while.
Build Fighters is better, by the way.
That's not a high bar to clear.
No, but Build Fighters is actually considered a good anime. Build Divers is not.
What's standard? Okay, that makes sense. That I believe.
I didn't know they were making bad Gundam. I heard Gundam was pretty good across the board.
Oh no, they make bad
Okay,
Gundam.
that's objectively not true.
Okay.
You're
Gundam
wrong,
fans
and I
would
can
be the
prove it
first ones to
mathematically.
tell you there's a such thing as bad Gundam.
Yeah, it's
There's
called
100%
Double O. Yeah,
yeah.
it's called Double O Gundam. Anyway,
No,
Perhaps
that
I'm hanging out with too many positive people. I gotta get some more pessimistic people in my life to tell me.
Also-
Oh boy,
also-
howdy. Do you want some pessimism? Oh man.
also,
Actually-
Jackie, you are not going to sit here and fucking tell me that Double O Gundam was good. It's a fucking lie, and you know it.
No, it's it's a middle Gundam. It's not the worst Gundam I've ever seen. The
You
worst
have
Gundam.
a very low bar.
No,
Yeah,
I've
don't
seen
get
some
any of
terrible
this.
Gundam. I've seen some
Are you-
terrible Gundam.
Build divers, for instance.
Why is Build Diver so gay though? Like, not as a derogative, just like generally the series is really like homosexually charged, and I don't know
Have
why.
you seen that dude that they have like just waiting around for people in
Yes,
the thing
yes,
there?
yes.
That
There's
guy.
literally a child predator in the show.
Yeah, that dude. That guy needs to be investigated immediately. There's no way world peace exists with him alive.
Does the child molester have a Gundam?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, good.
They all have Gundam.
They're
So,
mechanized now.
Really
character-
nasty with the characters
We've all
too.
got swords!
The character they're talking about is called Magi. The scene quality will go down in an episode because they started cutting back
His
on funds
ass
and shit.
showing up. That's the only reason they spent most of the budget per episode on his ass.
Oh,
And it
yeah,
becomes
no,
more defined as the budget as it goes on.
Yeah.
They got more budget and they're like, funnel it right in his ass. Get it in there.
Well, then you have
What
the
even is this
Finboy Fox
conversation?
thing. I don't know. We're bitching about anime. We've derailed from Warhammer 40k into anime. Dear God, we have become 4chan.
That sounds
Oh
about right.
no!
I'd say this
Oh,
like it's a
fuck.
bad thing.
My skin is turning green. I'm turning into a frog. No!
I didn't know we were near Quebec.
On, wee baguette.
Ha. Oui, baguette. What's even better?
Baguette.
I guess
What's
I need to change the flag behind us on the podcast from the United States of Hyrule to the Dominion of Hyrule.
What was the question?
I don't remember. What were we talking about?
Where are we?
Oh yeah, the
Who are
Game
you?
Awards. The disappointing Game Awards.
There were Game
Is
Awards.
this the first derailed since the Game Awards? Didn't that happen like a month ago?
Oh no,
Oh,
we've
yeah.
had plenty of them. We just don't care.
Oh,
We
fair
just
enough.
don't care. Yeah. So the Game Awards, happened on September 16th. And we saw
Well,
the
is it the
new
Game Awards or is it elected by corporate bullshit and then they present it as, oh yeah, it was totally the gamers?
Oh
The
no,
Game
Game
Awards are
Awards
based this year,
is
though.
basically the Oscars. It's all
Oh, it's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
bullshit.
like
Yeah,
pre-paid
yeah.
Define
for. It's all
based.
organized.
The
See,
Game Awards
I-
was based because they tried to say that a DLC was a video game and then it didn't win a single award, so gamers
Okay.
won.
Yeah, but that's not based. Based would be them hauling up the CEO and entire executive board of EA and then executing them live on stage.
But now that would be based. That's true. What
That
if
would be the
Statler and
best
Statler and
thing.
Waldorf had a sniper rifle just ready to fire?
Like any time that the CEO of EA just walks up on stage, just gets sniped and they have to elect a new one.
I hit him right in the head. You sure did.
The thing about it is we don't.
Too bad there was
condone
nothing in their value. Ah!
We don't condone violence on this podcast. I don't know what you're talking about. No. You want to know the most important?
No. Condoning violence only is against people. Corporate executives for EA aren't people. They're scum.
True.
But no.
Too bad Mario
the
didn't
same-
see his brother.
The same with the guy who runs Cartoon Network, David Zlav or whatever.
Zaslav.
Zaslav?
Yeah, that guy could run first into a wood chipper, and I would do nothing to stop him.
But no. You want to know what the most important thing about the Game Awards were?
They showed exactly how incredibly disconnected from reality they exist in.
No, the only place that anybody's talked about the Game Awards is on journalist Twitter. Literally nobody else gives a fuck.
No one
You only
fucking
ever
cares.
hear about it after it happens, so that shows just how.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and then you get all the YouTubers that get invited there, and it's just like, why do we give a shit?
Yeah, why are we here again?
At
Why
least
do we
this year,
care?
one of the creators they nominated, I've actually heard of once in my life. I remember last year, I was like, I've literally heard of 0 of these people. This year, I've heard of one of them, and I believe he won. So
I'll be right
double-
back.
This is what I found funny. Is there's the whole thing about Iron Mouse winning a streamer award, and like all of the antis were like flipping about, like how can an anime character win? Blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, put all of the top VTubers on a list, and then all of the top Twitch streamers. And I looked at the actual live action Twitch streamers that actually use a webcam, and I have no idea what a single one of them is. Never heard of
Okay.
them. Whereas I
So-
can name all the VTubers, and that's why they win. 'Cause no one knows who these people are.
So you want to know?
Well,
a fun thing?
because I'm sorry to cut you off, Jackie, but I do have a point here. There's a reason why VTubers actually have a personality.
Yes.
Sometimes it's literally just, hey, look at me, I'm a horny cunt, but it's a personality.
Hey! Don't be judging my
Hey.
personality.
I will
That's-
judge you, and you will enjoy it because you're a masochistic you're a masochistic slut. Don't lie. Anyway.
Phenomena.
Ma-
Do,
ma-
do,
ma- ma- ma.
do, do, do.
Phenomena.
Do, 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 do.
Phenomena.
Muhammad. Anyway,
fuck did I come back to?
A musical number, as it turns out. We're expanding the podcast scope.
Only one way to solve that.
Crack open a cold one with the boys.
There we go.
Hey,
And then
I feel
immediately spike
excluded.
it with rum.
Based.
But yeah, no. I keep hearing about the Game Awards, and it's because I have to look at journalist Twitter, and it's like, I don't give a fuck.
I hear about the
Journal-
Game Awards and I laugh about them.
Journalists are not people.
Journalists are like EA executives. They don't count as people. They don't have rights.
To show us on this doll where the EA man touched you.
All right, so there was Pandemic. There was a bunch of other game studios like Westwood and a bunch of other ones that they murdered in cold blood because everybody at EA that runs it is an executive parasite that needs to be thrown off of a tall building and then attached to a bungee cord and then left there for a couple of weeks while the crows get them.
In Minecraft.
Whatever that means.
Remember, guys.
I 100% hate EA executives for everything that they've done to the gaming industry. I hate Bethesda for what they've done to the gaming industry. Todd Howard is an absolute hack. Anything that Activision touches is bullshit and needs to be shut down. In fact, all of AAA gaming can burn to a cinder, and I will sit there and dance among the ashes.
Why dance among the ashes?
Because I will be so happy.
No. Why dance among the ashes when you could be the one holding the match?
Because at this point, we've already tried doing that, and they just kind of just, get more money from BlackRock.
Yes, but that money does eventually.
Oh, you're talking metaphorically.
Yes.
Well, you're boring.
Because I'm trying not to get Jackie kicked off the internet.
What, you're trying to
For
keep
all
people
intents and legal purposes, these are all jokes. I would never condone violence against the shit-basting fucktards that are EA executives. They deserve life as much as any common cockroach
Wait,
does.
hold on. You're trying to keep Twitch and YouTube from committing transphobia?
What?
Well, I'm a trans girl,
Yeah, they
so...
can't. They can't kick Jackie off because she's trans.
That's true.
We're protected.
Jackie is trans.
I have titties.
See, there we go. We have the trans pass. We can say anything we want. Just like Family Guy said. Oh, I'm sorry. I had no idea. Do whatever you want all the time.
But no, it's the thing, like... It keeps coming up when I talk about, or look into game news and stuff. Did you see the Game Awards of 2024? No.
No.
People stop giving a shit about the Game Awards when gaming shows like, what was it?
G4.
Yeah, when G4 was online, that's
Explain.
when, or online, was on TV is when we gave a shit.
Yeah, G4 was the channel. You're talking about X-Play.
Yes. And then
Do you want me
Adam
to-
Simpler.
The fun thing about it is the very first episode of X-Play I ever saw was the one with MechWarrior 3.
Hmm.
Lamau.
And I was like, wait, they're making a third MechWarrior game? Fuck yeah!
Technically, that wasn't the third MechWarrior game. If you really want to get that
Now, if
Actually.
you want to get really autistic about it, there's several MechWarrior games. MechWarrior 1's the only one that didn't have standalone expansions. Because you had MechWarrior 2, MechWarrior 2 Ghost Spare, MechWarrior 2 Gold, MechWarrior 2 31st Century or 30th Century. What was it? 31st Century Combat. And then you had the Microsoft Collection, which had all of them in one.
And then you had MechWarrior 2 Mercs.
Oh yeah, because that came out after Microsoft bought MechWarrior from Activision.
Think about it this way, kid. You get to keep all the money.
Oh. God, I missed you, Goobers. We missed you too, Anarchy. But yeah, no, when it comes down to it, I don't really care about.
Does that
you.
explain? Wait a minute. I saw those statistics when we didn't podcast. Is this Anarchy's fault? Are all 3,000 of those subscribers Anarchy?
Lord.
This is like one day, just like, no, Anarchy's just like, they're not podcasting. Fuck these bastards.
Bruh.
How dare they take time off? Kill everyone.
Well, I have to take
Yeah.
time off. We get 2 podcasts in a row, and then there's a bye week because I work nights that week. It just happens like that. What it is Anarchy's actually got like 3,100 computers all set up in one room.
Good lord, he must be in a fucking sauna.
When he's not
he
watching
meditates in there to train his body.
Well, when he's not watching a podcast, he's mining Bitcoin at such an efficient rate.
Wait, what? Well, what
He's
the
the
fuck
reason
is
why
this?
I can't. He's the reason why I can't
You
buy
guys
a
see that?
70 at a fucking reasonable fucking price.
Jackie, have you seen this?
I was
Bruh.
there.
Yeah, but did you see the post for the
What?
Nightmare blunt rotation?
Bruh. I have a nightmare blunt.
When the fuck was
apparently.
this?
Shit. I think that was Friday.
12/27/2024. Yep.
What was I doing Friday? Fuck. I was here.
I don't remember
Pretty busy.
fucking. Antonio has started a fucking space, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to join the space.
Yeah, the night Jackie, I think, like messaged me and I joined in.
Distraught, Jake Paul learns his next opponent, President Jimmy Carter, has passed away at 100.
Oh my god.
Yeah, a moment of silence for Jimmy Carter, a great American tragedy.
Okay,
Would you
I'm
like-
gonna say this right now. I don't think he was that bad of a president. I think he got fucked over.
I don't think he was a great president.
I
Neither
have
do
no
I,
opinions
but I
on
don't-
him.
Well, you're Canadian. You're not allowed to have opinions.
I'm definitely allowed to have opinions. I just don't give a shit anymore.
You're not allowed to have opinions until Trump makes Canada the 51st state.
Please do that. I require the Second Amendment and the First Amendment.
I'd rather not because I don't want to. I don't want to deal with Canadian bullshit.
That's fair. Very fair.
I had to put up the post on the podcast so people could see Nightmare Blunt Rotation. It is by Yugi Lives of Blue Sky. Or Yugi, yeah. Basically Lives of TikTok.
There's a Libs of TikTok, but for Blue Sky? Is it the same
Yep.
person?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
It's
They're
Libs
in
of
the
Blue
same-
Sky.
Yeah, they're in the same organization, I think. And then there's ones for like niche communities like Yugi Libs, etc.
Taco Bell isn't even good. Yeah, I know. Sometimes the raccoon inside of me craves garbage. Leave me and my crunch wrap alone.
Bruh.
Apparently, Anarchy has explained how this happens. He clones himself 24 times, then each of those clones clone themselves 24 times. So on and so on.
It's free real estate.
We have found the
It
replicates.
just sounds like
guys.
mental illness.
Look, we're friends of people with mental illness in this community. Mostly because I
Exactly.
have.
Look at me.
Mostly because I have
I'm
mental
so glad that
illness.
when I was about to say, I'm so glad that you talked to colonial players on Foxhole. That is it.
Oh, fuck no. Wardens. And only ever wardens.
I talk to them, but I keep convincing them that there are wardens behind them when I'm attacking.
Lord.
Did you know it's that easy? They have
Yeah.
proximity chat. You sit in the trench and then you just go, holy shit, they're warden behind you, while they're pushing up with tanks and they all just start turning around.
The perfect strategy. Gaslighting. Let's go.
I know, it's fantastic. It works.
That's
Oh,
not
no,
the
no.
only gassing that works
I-
on them. Ayo.
I would
Listen,
like to get a.
they only give me
I
so
would-
many gas grenades, okay?
So one of the worst things ever in gaming was when they removed voice chat from, I think it was PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Because after that, every single fucking game removed all chat. Like, no matter what.
All chat is required in a game like that.
Yeah. and the all chat is the best way to fuck with someone.
It's so good.
Look, I cannot properly interact with someone until I'm calling them racial slurs. Like that's
Pretty much.
I mean, it's a requirement. It's a requirement.
Is that not
Yeah.
how you interact with people?
But no,
Well,
like
that's how you
okay,
greeted people when you meet them for the first time. You just
Look,
say,
look,
"Hey,
look.
how
It's
do-
like
no,
when there's an Italian guy in one of the other discords, the very first thing I do is I always threaten to break a bunch of spaghetti near him.
but like pretending to use like in-game chat to tell your friend to go in and then wait for the guy to peek you. It's the funniest shit ever.
Yeah, but how do you
Yeah.
think I met Dr. Fatass? You told me to say a bunch of racial slurs, and then and it was like, cool, you can join the Final Fantasy 14 campaign I'm running. I was like,
Join the Star
yay!
Wars tabletop. It's... yeah. Look, I'll be perfectly honest with you. That's how I make most of my friends. I do something incredibly stupid, like getting into a fight with a shit ton of people. Or I just start randomly saying a bunch of gamer words in general chat.
It really depends.
That's
If
awesome.
I'm against Chinese hackers, I just start spamming stuff about Tiananmen Square.
Based.
Tiananmen Square totally happened, by the way.
It's just a reminder that Tiananmen Square was 100% real.
Jimmy Carter would want you to remember Tiananmen Square happened.
Jimmy Carter would also want me to spend less money on gas, and he's fucking dead, so I could care less what his opinion is.
Apparently, if you even mention like the date and details about Tiananmen Square, when you're online with Chinese gamers, their internet will disconnect them.
Yep.
Oh, well, hold on. I have very important side quests I must do. Continue talking.
Yeah, sometimes when you get when I get scam messages, I will send them back the fucking like Tiananmen Square copy pasta. I don't know what happens to them; they never get back to me.
They're probably fucking dead.
I would just
Oh.
I would just like you to remember that between the dates of April 15th, 1989 and June 4th, 1989, the Chinese government knows what it did. It was called Tiananmen Square. A lot of students died.
Or let's not forget the COVID protests, where all the million protesters just
Here's
suddenly
what I
disappeared.
don't get.
Or the continuing genocide of the Uyghurs, where they're being harvested for human hair and other organs against their will.
Hey, my viewer count went down
And-
by 10. Fuck.
Yay!
Hard hitting content here on the Derailed Podcast. We've been maintaining audiences since whatever year the podcast started.
We had a year. We
I was
started
gonna say
about-
it's just like the fucking goddamn gravestone's just gonna read 2024 to 2024.
Come on, we have to make it 3 more days, so at least there can be a different year at the end of the
What do you mean
tombstone.
3 more days? American math. It's the 29th.
Yeah, so in 3 days it'll be the
30th, 30th, 31st.
Yeah,
The first.
and then it's the new
first.
year.
The first.
Yeah.
3
days.
days.
There's only 2 days left.
This day is still happening, you stupid fuck!
This day
Yeah,
doesn't
but-
count. It's already done. Shut up.
Yeah, it's pretty much
What-
over.
what I don't understand about-
The only thing more done than today is your fucking brain cells, you mongoloid.
I disagree. Shut up.
No, I agree with Tube. Once the day started, it's pretty much done.
Yeah, the moment I wake up, the day doesn't count anymore.
Yeah.
So
That's called
welcome to the
depression.
welcome to the Derailed Podcast. It's basically like a bar fight.
Look, look, Took knows I don't hate him. I just hate his government.
We don't hate each other? Damn, I'm gonna have to call off those assassins. I mean, hey, how you doing?
No, pay them more. Pay them more. They need more.
Double pay. More
Triple
efficiently.
Just get a call from him, dude. He's just been sitting there at his computer jacking it for like the last 3 days. What do you want us to do?
Alright, look.
Kill him,
don't
but you
judge
can't
me.
kill what has no life.
Fuck. Sad part is he's right. Anyway.
Yeah, no.
The
It's good.
silence.
Video games, huh? Those are pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is there
okay.
anything
Let's be
different
honest. The
going
only
on?
reason
full screen for me, and I
let's
don't know the button.
let's be honest
Get
here.
back
The only
again.
reason that Marvel Rivals has any kind of traction is because the porn they're putting out of Squirrel Girl.
Not just
No.
Squirrel Girl. Have you
Anyone hear
seen the
me?
Black Widow porn? I have. Oh.
That is the
No,
first
no, no,
the
no,
first
no,
time I
no.
heard about Marvel Rivals was somebody posting about Squirrel Girl porn. That was the first time
Nope.
I heard.
Look at
the
them
name
hips.
Marvel
They don't lie.
The problem with
Those are
Marvel Rivals is the problem that like a lot of people have with gaming, in that there is literally no multiplayer games right now besides Call of Duty.
well. It also suffer. It also benefits from the fact that Overwatch 2 sucks.
Well, the thing is, it's just over what Overwatch should have been instead of what Blizzard thought Overwatch needed to be.
Does it upset anybody else as much as it upsets me that they just like turned off Overwatch 1, a game that people bought and paid for? Like
Yes.
if you're gonna make a sequel, the whole point is the sequel's a different game. You don't have to turn the last one off to have a sequel.
See, the
Yeah.
whole thing about Overwatch 2 and Overwatch 1 being shut down is that I hated Overwatch because it destroyed TF2.
So,
That's fair.
so the thing
Well, it
about
didn't really
Overwatch-
destroy TF2, but it did a giant amount of damage to it because everybody at the TF2 development team went, "Hey, we need to do the exact same thing," and just proceeded to fuck up
Yeah,
TF2.
They added matchmaking to Team Fortress 2, which makes no sense.
So do you guys want to know the real reason they made Overwatch 2?
Tell
So
me.
Overwatch had this really, really good monetization system where if you played a lot, you could open these boxes you would get constantly, and if
Oh
you were
yes,
good-
the old loot box system.
well, here's the thing: if you were good at the game and you kept playing, you would be able to get everything constantly. And Blizzard was like, we can't have all these like people getting free things. So you'll notice absent from Overwatch 2 is any form of free cosmetics.
So,
Yes, so
I
the
hate to-
scam is they made a new game and that game's free to play. So
I
obviously you have
hate-
to pay for all the
I hate- I
cosmetics
hate to-
because
yeah.
you didn't pay for the game.
I hate to interrupt you, all of you, for this, but has anyone ever told you the tragedy of Commodore Griffin the Rizzler?
Oh God,
No.
you shut your fucking face! You're gonna go into the fucking corner. I swear to God, if you
Is
ever
that
have
the fat kid or a different
and speak
Rizzler?
that kind of bullshit at me
What are
again.
we talking about? I'm completely lost.
I've been reading chat. So, do you
Oh,
want to know what my
God.
the first time I heard about Marvel Rivals was?
What was it?
3 days ago.
No. The first time I heard about it's because of Penny Parker being 14 in the comic books.
And
And
what is she
all of-
hot in the game or
I
something?
don't like where this is going.
She is canonically 18 in the game.
Oh, based.
Who?
Right.
Penny?
Yeah, she's like 18 in the
Yeah.
game or something. It's based off her older self in a different comic book branch, believe it or not. But they all, she... Sorry, I'm laughing at chat. She's canonically 14, and they made her all sexy in this really, really tight suit.
But if she's 18 in the
Wow.
game, then she's not 14.
Correct.
Well, the thing is depending on the comic book, she could be 14, 16, 17, or 18. And the one that I see that's the most closest resembling is the 18-year-old one.
Have they
Right.
said she's 18 or are you extrapolating this based on this design?
I'm
Right.
basing it off the design. It doesn't actually say
Okay,
how old
okay.
she is.
But you can't farm engagement by being rational, Jackie.
Oh, fuck no, you can't. Oh, Jackie, Marlboro rifles. Do they come in menthol? Damn it, Adam. You're not supposed to talk about the Marlboro rifles. And yes, they do come in menthol.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
I'm
But
gonna shoot myself in the foot. But yeah, no, Marvel Rivals is fun. There are some things that I find limiting about it because of its monetization model. And some other things that are going on in life right now, like most of the United States internet grids having issues today. I don't know why.
Hmm.
The news isn't reporting on it. Nobody wants to talk about it, but a lot of people seem to be complaining about laggy internet today.
Huh. Are you saying that something could be attacking the internet?
Well, yeah, that's why I changed this voice chat settings so that it would connect to a more stable server.
Oh, that's good.
That was because of last night, and every time it would just randomly disconnect us from Discord.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's really hard to watch anime when you're constantly disconnecting from Discord.
Yeah, it was really hard to do anything last night, constantly disconnecting.
It wasn't me, I didn't do it.
No, no.
It was you. You broke the internet.
Yeah, it was definitely
You're going to
me.
jail, mister.
Hey.
God,
Hey.
God damn it, Jackie! I told you those dick pics were going to break the internet. You didn't listen to me.
Sounds like a them problem.
Where
Down.
are they
I can't
still up?
help it. I can't help it. My OnlyFans is making bank.
It's just pictures of Dysons.
I actually joked about
For a
that.
second, for a second, I heard Dyson. I thought, is it a Dyson sphere?
No, that's
Nerd.
my Fansly account. Is nothing but Dyson spheres.
Christ above.
Which
Yeah.
technically don't really work. They need to be Dyson swarms, but hey, whatever.
Look, it's cheesy sci-fi at the end of the day, and I love it.
But
They
it's
eat
not
that
cheesy
shit.
sci-fi. It's totally legitimate. It could work. It's just, god damn it, humanity sucks.
Doesn't it?
Yep.
It's not silly. It's real. It could be real.
A Dyson swarm could 100% be effective. We just, need to stop fucking about with stuff.
Yeah, but why not just say fuck it and make a Dyson sphere?
Because
Way
right
cooler.
now, the easiest thing to do would be to build liquid thorium reactors instead. Get liquid salt thorium reactors, because, almost no chance of them going nuclear at any point. They produce more power than this stupid bullshit piddly solar and wind that we've got going on.
Yeah, but if
It's
you
safer
made
for the
those-
environment.
But if you made those, you couldn't sell oil. And then where would we be without oil?
Well,
See, in a
technically, we
better
could still
world.
be selling oil because you can't really use nuclear energy to power cars just yet, so they still have their place.
Have you ever heard of a I think it's a uranium lithium crystal?
Hydrogen.
Is
It's also
it hydrogen?
hydrogen.
They produce a
There's the
shit ton of
hydrogen and a
energy.
bunch of other stuff.
They
But,
produce a lot
guys,
of things.
Well,
guys,
the
none of
biggest problem
these-
is that we don't have anything that translates energy direct from one medium to another without there being
Yeah.
a third.
We
Because a
can't
nuclear
make-
reactor is just a.
We can't make energy without a kinetic water boiler.
Well, that's all a nuclear reactor is. It's just a super fancy way to boil water.
But guys, if
That's
we can't
literally
sell
all
oil,
power, though.
how are
Yeah.
we going to control the planet? I just don't see how this works.
The thing is when it comes to the debate over oil and shit like that, my absolute favorite thing to point to people is, did you know they were planning on banning horses in cities because of the poop problem? And then we invented the car. And then we made the car cheaper.
But like, how are we going to control the world if we can't, regulate the usage of horses?
Yeah, how are we gonna control the world if we can't? Oh wait, somebody invented this thing called the horseless carriage? Fuck.
Damn it.
Damn it.
All that work for nothing. Jenkins, get me into the slave to beat.
But yeah, no, when it comes down to it, like,
But guys,
it's
if we
amazing.
can't limit the spread of thorium, how are we going to control humanity? These newfangled fucking infinite energy reactors are going to ruin everything.
Jenkins, if I can't lord my wealth over the starving poor, how is this any benefit to me? Get rid of it.
Well, I mean, it's like I pointed out in another episode, we've had a working fusion model for 2 years now.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. The American one works, and the German one works. Both of them fucking work!
There
I
have
wanna
been
see the math.
patents on fusion reactors since the 20s.
I want to see the math.
The American one they were doing a test firing to see if they could put enough power into it to get it to stabilize. And it had
Are we talking the two dudes in the early '90s who released their cold
No.
fusion idea?
No, this was like 2021, 2022.
Okay, I haven't heard anything about that. So the scientists that did this, obviously, they were assassinated by the CIA, right?
No, they're not allowed to do the research anymore right now. The
Ah,
research
there you go.
project has been put on hold. But the Americans have this thing called a laser fusion reactor. They fired it up. They said it wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to work, and suddenly it worked. About 4 months later, the Stahl reactor in Germany also fired up.
And the reason we don't have anything useful coming out of them is because the oil and gas industry really needs to be.
Adam,
It is
I
really
invested
funny
all
that
of my wealth into the horse stock, and now they're rolling out these horseless carriages.
It is really funny though how every single person who has ever patented a fusion reactor has ended up dead.
Dead,
everybody-
missing,
Curious about
unavailable,
that.
discontinued from research.
The guy that originally invented hydrogen cell engines died at a Cracker
Disappeared.
Barrel in the 1980s. No, he died in a Cracker Barrel in the 1980s.
A Cracker Barrel?
Mm-hmm.
That's an odd way to go, but
It was his favorite restaurant. He died at his favorite restaurant.
Hmm.
And he was like in
Curious.
his late 20s, early 30s when he died.
so what you're saying is he died doing what he loved. Dead crackers. Anyway.
He died, they believe, of poisoning.
Oh, who would have fucking guessed?
Because if you look at the court case, or the case and all that, it kind of looks like potassium cyanide, which turns into protein in the human body. Don't ask me how I know that.
I assume a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
You would be surprised at what engineering school makes you take for fucking elective classes. I had to take chemistry, and that was literally one of the things they taught us in chemistry was the dangers of potassium cyanide and how easy it is to make potassium cyanide.
This is not an endorsement. Do not make potassium cyanide. You will die.
But protein though, the protein good, so potassium cyanide good,
Oh,
No.
right?
No, the protein's the side effect of your body are processing the potassium cyanide.
Yeah, breaking it down.
It's generally, yeah, it's actually really hard to detect. Unless somebody uses way too much.
Which is what they suspect happened to Homeboy.
Yep, because they used the correct
R.I.P.
dosage. So, yeah, there's a whole, and you can learn shit like this on TV, believe it or not, because that was also in popular media. But yeah, no, the wild world of science is amazing. Did you know Nikola Tesla drank 80 ounces of whiskey a day?
Nikola Tesla was also a boundless genius that his entire notebooks had been confiscated by the three-letter agencies because they're a bunch of shitty bastards that need to be, decommissioned and sent to prisons for everything that they've ever done.
Wasn't he also a heroin addict?
Probably.
Probably. But the thing with Nikola Tesla and Einstein is they actually both drank extremely heavily.
Yeah, but this was back during the early 1900s, right? That was probably considered light drinking, and they were pussies.
No.
Both of these dudes just out drinking each other by just holding a bottle of whiskey and going, so here's one shot.
No, it wasn't uncommon for people to be worried about Nikola Tesla's health because of the amount he drank.
And also the fact that he would often go radio silent for days, sometimes weeks on end.
My
Well, he
favorite
was
Tesla story
fine.
is when he was testing out, what was it there?
How-
The
Howard
vibrations.
Hughes.
What do they call it there?
Howard
The
Hughes was a
earthquake
heroin
machine?
addict.
His
I know
sympathetic
that.
vibrations where, oh god, where if you hit the right vibration frequency, it will tear down a structure once you find the vibrational frequency of it. So he just left this little thing just in the basement tapping away at it, and it was supposed to go up to an incremental amount until it found the frequency that would shake the building. So he goes across the street for a fucking coffee, and he's sitting there sipping away at his coffee, and he turns, and the building beside him is just fucking swaying.
Do you know what Nikola Tesla's internal name for all of his technology and advancements he came up with was? This is funny to me.
All
Can
right,
anybody
No,
guess?
but I assume
hit me.
no, but I'm assuming you're gonna tell us.
X-Tech.
It's actually not bad. It's pretty damn good, actually.
Yeah, it was all called X-Tech. Which is why Elon Musk's holdings are all SpaceX. X.com.
Speaking of
Loves
Mr.
his
Musk, did you
exes.
hear his greatest fuck up this week?
Oh,
No,
everybody's
fuck.
he's in trouble. Then nobody
His
likes
whole
him
thing.
anymore.
Well, it's not that nobody likes him; it's that they're angry at him for defending a literal racist that is using his platform and going, "Ha ha! The white people will never beat us Indians."
Oh, the white.
Meanwhile,
I
fucking
actually don't know
meanwhile,
this
fucking
whole
Pajit needs.
situation, so could someone explain to me what happened exactly?
So
So-
Mr. fucking Pajit over there decided to claim
Just immediately just busted out with these cheat
Whoa,
motherfuckers.
Shout out to
Hey
Twitch.tv.
guys. No racism,
Wait a minute.
please.
Sorry.
What happened?
Just busting out with the J words.
Yeah,
Hey,
like, chill. Just calm
I've
down.
been demonetized on YouTube long enough, okay?
What happened? What happened?
So one of them
said
comes
the-
out saying that white people are scum, basically that we deserve to be replaced, that his entire culture is coming over to colonize us, and that
And
we're a
that we
bunch of
never
white
learn.
devils. Yeah, exactly.
and that
Mhm.
and that Elon Musk had the audacity to defend him and say that white people can never learn, and that if you need a school to be educated, you have failed, which makes no goddamn sense because how else are you supposed to teach these motherfuckers?
You are watching too much of the Boy Meets World and the Friends, sir. You are inferior.
Fuck you,
You're
Friends is
clearly-
a national treasure.
You clearly need to watch more Bollywood. You see here this entire course on programming, my friend. Yes.
Listen. If you're ever in an argument with an Indian over whose culture is better, just understand that the UN installed, when they built I think it was a new town hall building in like a small village in India, and it had a toilet in it, a proper Western toilet
I
in
remember
this
the
village
story.
in India. They came back, I think it was 3 months later, and found that the villagers were putting flowers and stuff in it. They thought it was a shrine to the gods. They were worshipping this toilet for 3 months.
Hey,
Also,
hey,
how am
hey.
I supposed to respect a country whose chief export is literal technology
If you think
scams?
that's bad, in the cities when the UN tried to, and I think it was the Indian government tried to introduce public toilets, like proper toilets,
Yeah,
the
they had a
locals
whole
would just smash
campaign,
them to
poo in the
pieces.
loo.
They'd
Poo in
go
the
in
loo.
with hammers and smash them because they hate them. It's like, they actually want to
Because-
shit in the streets. They prefer it.
because they find it for some odd reason. They find it socially abhorrent to take a shit in their own house.
We know the
These
real
are the-
reason is because of convenience. You know you'd if it was socially acceptable, like you're just walking around, you don't have to go
No!
find a place
No!
to go
Well-
shit. You just fucking do it. Like, come
Well,
on.
The dude, we have a picture here in Canada that became famous because all of the shitload of Indians here are like, listen, it's fake, it's totally not real. And it's like, no, it's not fake. That dude was literally taking a shit at a gas station pump in front of everyone.
I'm gonna
He
say it
squatted
right.
down while putting gas in his car.
No, he didn't. He didn't squat.
He
he
was just
He just pulled his pants down, like bent a little bit, and shit in a cup.
Sounds
Gonna
about
say it
right.
right now: the British Empire didn't do enough in India.
The British Empire didn't. The
Well,
East India Trading Company did nothing wrong.
No, they didn't.
We
At this
we
point,
had to
no.
put a stop to a lot of messed up traditions in that country. Before we went there, it was tradition to, because basically when a man dies, you burn all of his possessions, including his wife, because she's his possession. So they would tie the widow to this big pile of furniture and all the stuff that the man owned and set her on fire while she was alive.
Okay,
Well,
so
the
they were
British
wrong
Empire
about
had to stop
everything,
that.
clearly.
Look, I'm gonna
You
be
know,
honest
that's
with
the
you.
biggest.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Had the 100 Years' War turned out differently, the world would be a much better place.
Okay, I'm gonna
I'm
say
not
that.
saying that Napoleon would have been a better ruler, but I'm saying Napoleon probably would have been a better ruler.
No. The 100 Years' War between Britain and France.
Mm. And I'm
Had
saying that if Napoleon had had his way in the Napoleonic Wars, things would probably be a little bit better.
I'm gonna say
No.
this right now. I'm gonna say this right now.
Mhm.
Elon Musk actually did admit to H-1B visa abuse. He actually admitted that
Mhm.
because he left the university that he was going to college for, the same
Yes.
university that he was using to secure his H-1B visa.
That's
He
not
committed
H-1B.
H-1B fraud.
Yeah, he
It's not
didn't. He
H-1B.
didn't follow through,
That's
and he
education.
didn't actually. Yeah, he didn't actually go through on H-1B. That's another fun thing is they community noted him on his own site.
Oh, I didn't see that community note. My
Yeah,
apologies.
it's an
yeah.
education visa. America has one of the coolest education visas in the world. It's
Meanwhile,
cheap.
my education visa is they're giving everybody temporary status and they're just bringing over their families.
Mhm.
Yes, they are
So
literally
quite literally,
creating.
my own I don't feel like this is my country anymore.
The thing with the American education visa is it was literally designed to bring people over here, get them educated, and send them back to their country.
Yeah,
And
that was
if they wanted to stay, they could,
They would
but they had
actually
to go
have to
through the
go.
process.
They would actually
Yep.
have to go home for a year before they could come back.
Meanwhile, my country's just kind of like, fuck it, bring them all.
Bring 'em all, let them all. But that's the original education visa system in the U.S. is we want you to come here to get educated so we can send you back to your country so you can improve your country.
Because we didn't want to be like the Soviet Union, where we just took the
Mhm.
the best and brightest and said "fuck you" to their previous
Well,
country.
and this was adopted in the 1800s when the university systems first started showing. First off, before 1950, most American universities you had to have the test scores to get into. If you had the test scores to get into, they were free. That's what endowments were for. Uh, Beyond that, they would bring foreigners over just so that they could learn from American universities to help stabilize or advance their countries because back then Americans were like, we need competition. We need a shit ton of competition. We need to compete.
Meanwhile, here, what was it? I saw a really good post that it was somebody from the opposite of the other side of the aisle, and they just go. Basically, what Musk says is, we need to get, we need to import people so that we can have learned people and experience. And then American, so can you just teach me instead? Fuck you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
that's literally what Elon Musk said.
That's
And it's
what's
hilarious because it
happening.
just goes, I'm totally for everyone. Fuck you.
This
We
is
need
the
better
thing.
education.
We know the real reason the government supports immigration is because the people they bring in will work for less than minimum wage, and they'll be loyal to whatever party gives them all this stuff like housing.
Well, the,
No.
the, the fucked up thing, the fucked up thing about the
It's to
H-1B.
create a slave class, essentially.
Well, also the fucked up thing about the H-1B visa system is if they get fired from their company or if they try to leave for any reason, they're fucked.
Mhm.
They're absolutely fucked.
This
had
is the
a,
reason. You'll hear this every time you see a public debate about immigration. You'll hear this line. Or at least you hear it on British TV. You'll always get one person in the audience that says this. British people won't do these jobs.
No, we
It was
Yeah,
like,
they
is a
keep going,
complete
"There's a
lie.
labor
And the
shortage."
reason they keep pushing the idea is to make you think that without immigrants, no one would do these jobs. The problem is, we would do these jobs if they would hire us over the immigrants, which they're
Well, the
not
other
going to
thing
do.
is that they said that there's a labor shortage, and when in reality it's a wage shortage. People aren't willing to work for the bottom bargain prices that they want to go and go, well, how else would we save money? By not paying your CEOs $1 million fucking contracts. How's that sound?
Well, it's not even just
One
that.
of the banks, one of the major banks in Britain, literally admitted this, like said this. They said in one of their like yearly reviews, we're not importing enough people to keep wages down.
One
They
of
just openly
the
admit, yes, we are flooding the country so that your wages get lower and lower, so we can pay you less.
one
Yeah.
of the big things, like in the U.S., because we're a big country, we have states that are as big as European countries.
Sometimes bigger.
A lot of times bigger, but when it comes down to it, like a lot of times it's you can't move from one state to another to go do a job easily. Like when I moved, I spent something like $4,000 just to drive for 22 hours. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Yep.
I spent my entire life savings to move so I could go somewhere where there was jobs and opportunities compared to where I used to live. That's hard for a lot of people. There's no jobs and opportunities in all places. And instead of fixing those issues, what happens is, oh, it's just cheaper to import somebody.
Or let's say their whole federal government there and essentially abandoning North Carolina, and they're still having issues. And quite literally, what was it there? They stole all of their generators. They kicked them out of FEMA housing. They shut down housing that other people built.
Oh, did
Yep.
you remember the Black Hawk helicopter videos?
Ah, yes, them showing up and then blowing away supplies.
And you remember what all of the normal talking heads said? Oh, those are obviously private helicopters. First off, it's illegal to have a black painted Black Hawk helicopter in the U.S. Second off,
I am
there's not a
100% surprised that they didn't start shooting anyone from the government within a month. Like, if I
Second-
saw that shit, the first thing that would happen is I would tell all of my friends to get shotguns the moment they see a Black Hawk, open fire. Fuck those people.
Well, yeah, but see, here's the thing. Like, so many people, oh, it's just rich people with Black Hawk. You can't have a black painted Black Hawk helicopter in the U.S. It actually
Okay, in all
goes against
fairness,
laws.
has that stopped the rich from abusing the laws?
No, but here's the other thing. There are no privately owned Black Hawk helicopters in the U.S.
As far as we're aware.
You would have to buy it directly from the military.
And the military ain't selling.
Nope. Because they
Wait,
would
I'm sorry,
rather
what kind of helicopters?
Black
Black Hawk.
Black Hawk. Okay.
Black Hawk.
I know exactly what you were
Riley, get your mind out of the gutter, man.
And I'm the tranny on this podcast, and Riley's over here being more homosexual than me. Damn. Riley, is this something you want to tell us about?
I'm very straight. I love vagina. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, you know how we know you're just
So we're lying to
big
ourselves
vagina.
today.
But no,
So we're
when it
lying to ourselves
when
today.
it comes down
okay.
to things like that, it's like, no, that's very obviously a military helicopter. That's very obviously because before the helicopter showed up, there were black vans with red and blue lights that would show up. Guess what else is illegal to have in the U.S.? Red and blue lights on your cars. Huh.
I watched Olive Wendigoon's video about it because he was there throughout
Mhm.
most of the recovery and everything. And he said that after a while, all of the sites that the locals had set up where they were like handing out food and things, the feds would just show up and say, right, we're taking over this now.
Yeah.
And they were doing it to like consolidate the sites. And he said that they basically just, after they did that and took control of each site and consolidated them, it just wasn't as efficient. It took way longer to get food and stuff to people and sort everything out. They bureaucratized it and messed it up. it was running way more efficiently when it was just the locals running each place.
So Adam, how many times did this helicopter thing go? I counted at
And it-
least 25.
It just makes
And
me remember that quote from Reagan where it's like the most horrifying words you can ever hear is, "Hey, we're from the government. We're here to help."
well, fuck yeah. But Adam, just to explain this, I counted at least 25 instances at various different places where they reported it. That video was literally the third time that same helicopter had attacked a place in the same day. Yeah.
You were able to track it down that much. Huh?
I just cross-referenced where people were talking about it,
Yep.
what sites, etc.
Damn.
And they were claiming it was coming from Tennessee, and a Black Hawk helicopter does not have the range to do what that helicopter did coming from Tennessee. So it would have had to have launched from North Carolina. Military autism. It sucks.
It was probably, again, a lot of what these agencies do is they have to create situations to justify their existence, and they're probably like, well, if this whole
Mhm.
event goes down in history to prove that, the people of America can take care of each other and themselves, then what the hell do they need FEMA for? We need to go out there, put a stop to the civilian relief effort, so that then they're only getting the food and supplies from us. So when it's all over, we can say, see, without us, this would have been way worse. You need us. You need to fund us. You need us.
Never.
Again, why do the CIA and FBI keep creating terrorists like the World Trade Center bomber and all this stuff? They keep MK Ultraing people to do these stuff, and then they say, we knew about this the whole time. This is why you need to fund us so we can stop these things from happening. It's like,
What they also don't realize is, though, every time they say, "Oh, we knew about this beforehand," they don't realize it's literally a case of people will just look at them and go, "Okay, how does that inspire confidence in your skills as an intelligence agency?" Like,
What is it? The most dangerous and unsettling words to hear in the English language. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help.
Ask not what your government can do for you, but what you can
they do
do
this
for
in,
your
in other
government.
ways as well. If you guys ever heard of the RuneScape felon, famous on YouTube now, or was for a little while, he's a guy who's called Josh Pilault, and I'm not doxing him because he's open about his name. It's the name of his YouTube channel, I think. He in 2012, like he was still like I think early 20s, so just out of secondary school or whatever it is in the US, high school, whatever. He's American. He's on RuneScape, and he's basically doing what every young adult and teenager does on video games, shit talking people. And like this other kid is arguing with him, so he says, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking blow up your school, mate." He's basically just shit talking. This kid then reports him to his school. Josh Pilault then gets arrested as like a potential terrorist, and he's taken to court and given, I think it was 4 years. He said the reason is because the FBI, the ones prosecuting him, and they can't be made to look like they're wrong about something. When they say we think this person's a terrorist, they have to convict that person's a terrorist. Otherwise, it looks like they were wrong, and they can't have that.
Well,
So
another thing
basically,
is when it gets
yeah.
to the federal level and stuff like that, they do have to convict.
He ended up being in prison for 6 years because when he got out, he got caught again for weed, and they were like, "Well, you've had a past conviction. You just got out of prison, so we're going to give you more years." And he ended up being in prison for 6 years for basically smack talking a kid on RuneScape.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy.
Mhm.
It's an interesting channel because again, he went into prison in 2012. So when he came out, the world is completely different, and he does all these videos about like how much of a culture shock it is to see like how reliant we are on smartphones now, how social media has changed everything, how the culture's completely changed.
Mhm.
Like being separated from society from 2012 to like 6 years later. It's mad, and it's all because he was smack talking on RuneScape.
No, that's
Man,
actually a big thing.
Man,
The
imagine
reason
imagine
he
getting
was
out of prison. Imagine getting out of prison and suddenly nobody knows how to define a woman anymore.
10 years in prison, come out and just be like, I'm going back.
he got interviewed by Count Dankula as well. You can find Stank's video with him. On his
So
channel.
you actually think that's a joke, but there are a lot of people that get out of prison, want to do the right thing, see how the culture's gone, and say, I
Yep.
can't live in this.
I don't
Yeah.
blame them.
But
Like
yeah,
Dank says, whenever he does a video about, whenever he mentions Ali Bronson, if you know him, he's a very famous inmate in Britain. And he's like, that guy's been in
Bronson.
prison since the 70s. If he comes out, Jesus Christ, what is he going to make? He will not be able to function in today's world from the 70s.
no, I made the
The
statement
guy
once.
cannot function outside of prison.
I made the statement one time to it was back when I was over a bunch. I was in the private sector, but we did this thing where we would take people that just came out of prison and help them get trained into a job so that they would at least have something. And I remember I was talking to one of my trainees, just got out of prison, has been in prison for 10 years, and I go, it's kind of funny. I remember a day when they didn't need your social media accounts, they didn't need your cell phone number, and they didn't need your email address to get a job.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Why does your job need your email half the time anymore?
So they can look you up.
When I apply for jobs, I have to enter my entire job history and education history manually every single time. They will not accept CVs anymore. What is the fucking point of a CV? And all these courses to keep putting me on like trying to, all these courses on how to get a job and improve my employability, they always go on and on about how important your CV is. I'm like, then why do I have to enter everything manually every single fucking job I apply to?
Because it's bullshit and it's not important. It's a bunch of lies. Employers just fucking lie to you at this point.
Yeah.
At this
Well, no.
point,
No, I
they've
can tell
always
you.
lied to us.
I can tell you why my previous employer.
I also, again, going back to the immigration thing and how that's changed the world, every single job I have to provide proof that I'm British, I'm a British citizen, I have the right to live here, to work here, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, surely my parents or grandparents wouldn't have had to do this back in their day. Like, I was born in this country, but I feel like I'm walking into customs, like I've just got off the plane at the airport and I'm having to prove, provide my passport,
Yeah.
my birth certificate.
If you do not reside in Canada, what is wrong with you? You should be here with the rest of our
I
brethren.
have the right to work in the country I was born in.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things. The world's gotten to be a mad place, man. Like, my previous employers are monitored every aspect of my social media presence. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because I could hurt their brand.
This is another thing. The way the culture is now is you have to have the same politics as the company you work for. Like back in the day, in our parents' generation, the company is just a place you go to work. Your private life is none of their business, and they didn't care either because all they want to know is when you show up to work, are you going to do the job they pay you to do? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
These days, every company is now an activist, and they're like, well, we know that we're just a company that makes frozen fish in a factory, but if you work here, we're actually pushing for gender equality and trans rights, and if you don't push those things yourself or you're against those things, you can't work on a line in our factory packing fish into a plastic container.
I have a question as a trans person. Everybody in the world knows I'm trans. My far right friends know I'm trans.
I didn't know you were trans.
I'm trans.
I don't care.
Surprise.
No, the question is what rights do I not fucking have?
I was gonna say, I'm fairly certain you
I'm
are
scared.
afforded all the same rights as everybody else.
You might get shot in the head if you use the bathroom that it goes to the gender that you use.
What I don't get is the ones that keep saying there is a genocide going on right now, a trans
Oh my
genocide.
god.
So
My ex
where?
thought.
Yeah,
My
that's a little
ex went on
far.
about that.
That's a little far.
Pakistan, Saudi Arabia.
Also, if you shoot someone for
here.
using the opposite bathroom, that might be a bit much, but at the same time, there are some, creepy people that do that sort of shit.
Yeah,
I
and they
don't
should
use-
go under the prison and burn in hell, but it's not everybody.
But you know, there's
Yeah, but the
creepy
usual reaction
people-
to someone being in the bathroom that isn't supposed to be there isn't to shoot them.
Well, yeah, but there's like
It's
people
your-
that aren't trans and don't pretend to be that also go in the women's bathroom. Like, do
Yep.
we just forget that like perverts exist?
Yeah.
Do you
I-
remember
I-
the original video what before Jordan Peterson was famous? The very first, when he became known to like the wider public, was when he was opposing that bill in Canada. And there was that footage of him outside his university protesting, and all these woke students came up to him. And he said to one of them, "Why should I be compelled to use your pronouns? How would that help you?" And then one of them went, "Are you aware that, one in several," she starts naming these statistics of how many trans people are murdered in the US. And it's like, why does that mean I've got to use your pronouns?
Right.
Is
The
that
thing
why they're
is-
dying?
The thing is, I find most people start using my pronouns, my preferred pronouns, if I'm somewhat nice to them. And I generally don't give a shit. But then again, I'm also not, your typical tranny, I guess. That's the way it works out. Because I've been this way since, a long time ago. I was this way before it became trendy.
Which is the biggest issue, is that it's now trendy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've said this many times on this podcast. I believe that at least like 80 to 90% of the trans movement are pretending, and that there's actually a very, very small proportion of them that actually have gender dysphoria. I think most of them are trenders.
You can ask Worf. There are days that I am nothing but a white woman in real life.
It's annoying.
I will bitch about everything.
It's really annoying.
Those are generally the days I forget to take my pills, but that's beside the point.
Must not say anything. Must not say anything.
There are days that I do not look in the mirror because gender dysphoria sucks. I do not recommend it. It sucks. If you want a mental issue, go find a better one. Go find an absolute better one. There are bangers out there that are great.
Oh
I
yeah,
would
there's
say-
so many great things about having a mental illness. It's fantastic. Just try it.
Delusions of Grandeur is probably the greatest one you can have.
Yeah, until you think you can defeat gravity, and then you know what? You jump off 5 stories and think you can fly, and then everybody has to
Gra-
explain the pancake on the
Because gravity
sidewalk to their
is
children. I'm sorry, he had delusions of grandeur. He thought he was Peter Pan. Look at him go.
Seriously, gravity's gay and fake. You can beat it.
This is the thing. What I don't get about today's world is that as soon as people find something that's wrong with them, they then not only make that their whole life about that, but they wear it as like a badge of honor. Like there was Tim Pool brought this up when I used to watch him. There was some scientist who said, "Oh, research right now, we may have a way to cure blindness. We've developed this new thing that can like fix a certain, because there's a lot of different things that cause blindness, but one of the things, we may be able to actually develop a treatment." And some like the person who was like, "Oh, I represent the blind community, blah blah blah," and I think this is offensive that you're implying that we need to see, and it's like,
Okay, first off, as somebody that wears fucking glasses, if I was told that there was a medical treatment that I could afford that would make it to where I did not have to buy fucking expensive ass glasses ever again, you know what I'd be fucking doing tomorrow? I'll be honest with you. I'd be like, yeah, I want to do this.
I don't want to wear my glasses. And I don't want to get laser eye either, because you have to get that redone after so many years, because actually
I
it's a
can't-
temporary thing.
I can't get laser eye surgery. They actually have to cut my
Yeah.
lenses. The kind of eye surgery I have to get in order to correct my vision costs more, has a higher failure rate. It's not as bad as it used to be. It's only got a 20% failure rate now.
I think a better way to
But
try and
at the
explain
same,
what my point is about what's happened to like these people who make their life about what's wrong with them is the whole situation with the wheelchairs in D&D. It's like years ago you would have assumed that if someone who couldn't work in real life is going to play a role-playing game, they would probably role-play as like a fantasy version of what they wish they were. They wouldn't go, well, I'm disabled, so surely my character should also be a cripple. But
Or if
I'm
you
gonna-
were
I'm-
going to, or if you were going to play a crippled character, there would be like a lore reason you were doing this, or some funny fucking meme. Not
it's like
oh,
Okay,
it's
so
serious.
okay, so I'm going to say this right now. As someone who is currently in a D&D campaign of Final Fantasy XIV, I play a 6'7" blonde motherfucker who whacks people with a fucking greatsword. I am not a 6'7" Triclops with a greatsword. I enjoy playing somebody that is not me. I
this
don't
is
want
what
to
they don't
see.
understand.
I don't
This
want
is
to see
why. Sorry.
every Saturday evening. I don't want to be me. I would like to be Kylus Viator Marsis, traitor to the Garlean homeland. I don't want to be me. I don't want to be reminded I even exist. I have to do that daily.
so,
This is the
again,
thing.
this is
It's like
going to go back to the classic anime me and Tuke have been watching.
this is the thing. Is left today. I think just Zoomers, the way they've been raised to be just very vain and self-obsessed, is they don't understand. Like it's the old argument. Well, we need to have, less white male characters and more diverse one, because otherwise, how can black people and women play this game? They can't relate to any of the characters.
Who the fuck wants to relate?
For example, when the Lollipop Chainsaw remake came out recently, right? There was a post I saw where there was the whole argument of, oh, was this made for like the male gaze? And like the fans were like, well, yeah, obviously it's a fit, attractive character. And then someone went, well, then why is she like? Why does it look so girly? Why is she, got all these like girly clothes and lollipops and flowers? Like, surely no man looks at this and says, "Oh, this is my aesthetic." And then someone went, maybe they play the game and don't like identify as the character. And this guy was like, "That's not a thing." It's like they genuinely don't understand
Oh no,
like role playing as something that isn't you.
Have you seen how the
Don't get it.
Hispanic community interacts with Goku? What are you talking about?
That's been a thing with millennials too. I
Yeah,
don't know where it comes from, but
this is why
there's been-
every new Marvel character looks like the woman who wrote it.
Because
A
a woman
dead
did
ringer for
write
the
it.
woman that wrote it. Yes, they look
But
exactly like
one of the
the
things
person writing it.
one of the things I point out is there's a line from Dot Hack Sign where the character, how do I put this? The player character Subaru explains that there are certain things that she can't do in real life that she can do in the game, and that is why she enjoys playing the world.
You see, she was defeated by Madame Mitsubishi and her friend Ho Honda.
Funny you say that.
Unfortunately, they couldn't defeat Lord Hyundai.
Lord Hyundai.
The
It's
fun,
Hyundai, you stupid idiot.
it's the funny thing about that is what she's alluding to. It's she lost the ability to walk in a car crash when she was a child.
Due to a Mitsubishi Lancer.
Shut the fuck up. Fuck you. That one's a good car. Fuck you. Slander one of my favorite cars like that, you son of a bitch.
Oh my god, you're a
I'll-
generic white boy.
That
I-
is one of the
I will harvest your Achilles tendons while you
With
sleep.
what? A Miller Lite?
Fuck you, it's gonna be a
Hey,
Guinness.
watch
I
it.
at least have taste.
Why'd you say Miller Lite? You'll attract my girlfriend, and she will beat you with a chancla.
I'm not afraid. I have
You have a
Irish
girlfriend?
grandparents. Did
Yeah.
you miss this? Has this not showed up, by the way? Surprise.
I've not been told this. No, congratulations. You can finally beat the incel allegations.
Yes, I have an angry Hispanic girlfriend. It's
What
not
is it
so
with
angry.
everybody I know getting angry Hispanic girlfriends?
Well, what I find funny is what V brought this up in one of his videos when they did the female Thor comics to again try and get women into Marvel because they were like, well, you know, they need to be able to identify with the character, blah blah blah. It actually like less women read it, and V was like, okay, think about this. Why was the Thor film when that first came out, the very first one before they had Avengers? Why did that do so well with women? Chris Hemsworth. Women went to see that film not because there was a woman in it, because they wanted to look at the sexy, muscular man. But their response to that is, right, now we've got this female audience, we need to make Thor a woman. And all of a sudden the women had completely lose interest. And they're like, but why? We made her relatable to you. It's like, yeah, but they went there to see the muscular man, and now he's a woman. Not interested now.
They went to
The-
see Chris Hemsworth shirtless, and they went to salivate over his fucking corpse. Like,
Well,
Jesus
it's not like
Christ.
it's not like any of the women went to Magic Mike for the story.
So, there's an interesting thing on that too. I know a lot of women that will watch that will watch and do nerd stuff, but not talk about it. Like they will not talk about it. Do you know why they won't talk about it?
What?
Not because men give a shit, but
Other
because
women will judge them for it. Yeah.
other women will
Oh yeah,
fucking
other
attack
women.
them.
Oh yeah,
Despite
other
the
women.
fact-
Fuck.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and this is a created culture, believe it or not.
Yep.
No, women are
it's-
absolutely some of the most serpentine and evil
Hmm?
people I have ever seen. Like, men can be horribly shit too. Do not get me wrong. But
One of
holy
the-
fuck, women can just be absolutely
Yeah.
snake-like.
Women,
girl I
women
used
can
to-
just be evil.
A girl I used to play like Halo and shit with constantly. I'm not going to say her name because she'll get attacked relentlessly for it.
We'll call her bitch for for clarity's sake.
She knows who she is. But that's the
You
thing.
know who
like,
you are.
she's a very beautiful woman. The thing is,
She's
the moment
single?
she's no,
She's crazier, or she's nuttier than squirrel poop.
the moment she has a hard time with relationships. We'll go with that, okay?
Send her my way. As long as she's not a bitch, I'll happily accept her.
No, she's
I can
crazier
fix
than a
her.
mental ward. Got it.
But the thing is like, anytime we would go do something, she would wear a chest binder and dress like a guy
Why?
What?
because of the
That's-
amount of shit that she would get for fucking doing any kind of nerd culture shit.
That's depressing.
No, that's true. And yeah,
I
it
said
is fucking-
depressing.
It's depressing, but it's true with a lot of fucking females.
It's
I don't want to
funny
be
you
seen around
brought
nerd
up.
culture. Well, then fuck off and get away from me.
Imagine you have a nerd friend and you find out she's like a chick with tits secretly, and you didn't know that the whole time.
That's my
What?
dream.
Cool
Well, that's how you know it went.
Cool upgrades.
I thought she was a femboy. Damn.
That's
Oh,
my dream.
That
Oh,
one
so-
guy is disappointed. And she just like, look at these, and just damn it.
Guys, why are we talking about track behind his back?
Okay. But what's funny about this is like people like Anita Sarkeesian, those kinds of women came in from the outside and then saw that they could
She's
get
not a
laid.
woman. That's a troll.
Yes, but she saw
Not a
she could
woman.
get
She's
laid
not a woman. That's a harpy.
by using gaming. So
Yeah, they realized that nerds were easy targets, and then just started, going on.
So
Again, going
well,
back
the
to the
same women
whole
who are doing that shit in gaming now, and they're fucking it all up.
But going back to the whole like trying to change hobbies and fandoms to get women to like it, I can't think it was Asmo, or it might have been V again. It was like they're trying to push for female space marines, and the argument is it's to get women to get into 40k. It's like the most popular armies with female players is actually orcs and Tyranids.
Orcs, Tyranids. I've known a few Tau
Yeah.
women.
Like
To-
there's a
to-
literal female-only army, and it's predominantly played by men. Women want to paint orcs.
I didn't know that you
What?
were or that you were a woman. I'm sorry.
What did I? What?
You know, I'm very happy that you decided to come out. It's very good that you
Again,
are now feeling
But
more
by-
comfortable in your own skin.
By their logic, Sisters of Battle should be the number one pick for women.
Yeah,
It
but
isn't.
most
And
women
why
don't
is
play
that?
Sisters of Battle.
Because they're not interested in playing an all-female army. Because they're not interested in women. Because they're straight women. The Sisters of Battle is predominantly played by men. Now, who do the women want to play? They want to play the big, muscular male soldiers, like the orcs or the space
They want to
marines.
get fucked by orcs. That's why they're doing this.
I actually met a female Custode player, and and she didn't have any Adeptus Icona units in her list. And I asked her, aside from the units being shit, which let's be honest, the Sisters of Silence fucking low.
No. It's just I have an aside for this whole thing about the Adeptus Custodes after you're done.
Oh yes, I know exactly what you're referring to. But anyway, no, I asked her, why aren't you, just for curiosity's sake, why don't you play Sisters of Battle? Or why don't you play Imperial Guard? Because, women Imperial Guard. And she was like, because I like big golden men. She literally went down, yes, I am horny, and I own it. And I was like, you know what? Based.
Real.
Anyhow, Took, as you were saying.
They've gone into complete meltdown about this because the Femstodes got retconned the fuck out of existence before they even happened. That one episode of Tides is probably never going to see the light of day ever again. And all the Wokies are sitting there going, no, Gav Thorpe said that it'd be back and there's gonna have more. Gav Thorpe doesn't even work directly for GW as a self-employed author. Fuck Gav Thorpe.
But he has been around since the beginning. So he does.
So what?
He's nuts.
Imagine your name is Gav. Yo, what's up, Gav? What kind
You're
of name
Gav.
is that?
And then
Gavin.
your last name's Thorpe, so you have no fucking out here.
It's
No.
like I used to watch. I sometimes watch them when they're on. Nerdrotic and Record Drink and all that other show called Friday Night Tights. I was watching that back when Jodie Whittaker first became the Doctor. And they have a woman on the show on Friday Night Tights, I think she's Canadian. And she was like, she's been a Doctor Who fan for years, and she started joking like, "Oh, now finally, I can watch Doctor Who now that the BBC finally allowed me to watch it by making her a woman." It's like she was obviously being sarcastic. She's like, she didn't want or need the Doctor to be a woman. She was already a long-time fan, and now they've ruined it for her because she liked the Doctor being a man, especially some of the actors that she really liked. The BBC were like, no. Women have always been excluded from the Doctor Who fandom because he's a man, and we need to make him a woman so women can finally watch the show after 60 years. It's like, there's fucking millions of female fans.
So many women, they write us letters and they're like, man, I really wish I could watch Doctor Who, but she's not a woman, so I can't do it.
My stepmother has been a Whovian for as long as I've known her. And I'm pretty sure that as soon as the female Doctor... She dropped it when Peter Capaldi, the last one before the female Doctor, was around. She dropped it before then, and I asked her, how do you feel about that? And she was like, I don't care. That's a damning indictment.
Well, most people don't give a shit. They don't want representation. They just want to play a game.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Wokies are like worm tongue sitting next to the investors.
new Doctor Who completely, because as soon as they announced it was going to be Jodie Whittaker and it was going to be a woman, I was like, no, that Doctor Who is dead. And whenever I look back at it, it's worse and worse. The current Doctor is black. I think he's like pansexual. And
Didn't
he
they have him
cries
fighting off? Wait,
all
what?
the time. He's always crying.
The Doctor doesn't cry.
Not
Well,
only
no,
that,
the doctor can cry. I'm not going to say he can't cry, but it can't be every episode.
they're trying to make him like as queer as possible. Like I've seen clips of it on like people making videos talking about how woke he's gotten. And
Well,
like
to be
we,
fair,
Wasn't one of his villains
there's
a
a clip
drag
of
queen?
him dancing in a nightclub in a dress.
Yeah.
And when he gets taken out of the nightclub by the police, I think he threatens to give him a snowman, which I've been told is where you stick your finger up someone's ass. So he threatens to stick his finger up a cop's ass. He's the Doctor.
That sounds based. What are you talking about?
what the fuck
They
is wrong with
then-
you?
That's
Apparently
not
he's
the Doctor at all.
constantly making like really homoerotic, like suggestive things. Like there's a bit where he has to get out of some handcuffs, and his companion's like, "How do you know how to do that?" He's like, "I once spent a very hot summer with Harry Houdini." It's like, shut the fuck up.
The thing
They have to
is,
keep doing. They're just making him as queer as they possibly can.
Unhand me, coppers, or I'll stick a finger right up your ass. Don't fuck
Really?
with me.
Riley, you should try
watched-
that one. I'm
I
sure you'll
watched
go
through
well.
the Peter Capaldi Doctor era, and then after that it was
Aldi
Because-
genuinely is a sad situation because he is, I think, one of the best actors to ever play the Doctor, but he never got to actually play him the way he wanted to. Because the
Capaldi-
writers for his era were more interested in writing, having a
Mhm.
woke message in each episode, and he wanted to play the Doctor his whole life. It was his dream role, and he finally got it. And he was even quoted once at a convention. People asked, like, when do you plan to leave? And he's like, "You'll have to take this role from my cold, dead hands."
Hmm.
And when Chibnall came in, Chibnall's condition for accepting the job as showrunner was he wanted a female Doctor. So they literally fired Capaldi, forced him off the show to bring in Whittaker.
the thing about had they done it right, freaking Capaldi would have been a great contrast to what Matt Smith was.
Yeah.
Matt Smith was not a serious doctor.
But I don't think he needed to be.
No, because he was the contrast to Tennant.
David Tennant, yeah.
who
And
was
Tennant,
a
and
very,
Tennant. Well,
very
Tennant was
serious
as
doctor.
he was serious, but he wasn't as serious as the Doctor before him. I forget
Well,
his
Matt
name.
Smith, I kind of
Eccleston.
see as. Because a lot of people say. I kind of see. I think one person I was watching review each area of Doctor Who, he described Matt Smith's Doctor as like an old man in a young man's body.
Mhm.
He's kind of taking a lot of inspiration from Patrick Troughton, who's my favourite Doctor, the second Doctor.
Mhm.
If he was like a lot younger, and he's now got this body that's full of energy, but he's still like this wise old man. But now he's like, oh, I can do all these things now. I'm young again.
Well,
That was
think
essentially Matt Smith's Doctor.
think about it this way: you had Christopher Eccleston, who would have followed Jonathan Hurt, which is the wartime Doctor, that doesn't ever get shown on screen. Eccleston would have been
Not
the
off-
soldier.
Oh no, they
Because
had John Hurt doing a War Doctor thing for a while.
Yeah,
They
he's in the
actually showed him.
movie.
He's in the
He's in the
movie,
movie.
but he's not shown like episodic.
The only reason they wedged him into the canon is because Eccleston refused to come back for that film. That would have been Eccleston.
Yep.
Which is
But
also
they
why
did-
they had to bump forward the number of every Doctor. So Eccleston's technically the 10th, Tennant's the 11th, and that's
Yeah.
why Matt
no,
was
but
like,
nobody
oh,
can-
technically
nobody-
I'm the last Doctor, and that's why I have to be granted more regenerations to become Capaldi.
Yeah, but the
But
thing
it's
about
also
that
because
is-
Tennant regenerated twice.
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
The thing about that though is, believe it or not, that was a role that John Hurt had been they had tried to give John Hurt a few times in the 80s.
Yeah.
And he said that he wasn't ready for it.
It's a shame he passed away, because we could have had a full series with him, but it would have been good.
No. The thing is John Hurt's a killer actor for what he is. He plays a very good grizzled veteran.
Yeah.
Even in the Alien movies, he plays a grizzled veteran.
I love his cameo in Spaceballs. When the alien pops out of him, he just looks down and goes, "Oh, not again."
I love that immediately. What did he get? He got the special. I'll change my order to the soup.
Spaceballs is an
Ah.
amazing movie. It really is.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest of all time.
Anything by Mel Brooks was an amazing movie.
And I love how
Pizza
they had the
Hut.
title for the sequel in the movie. Spaceballs 2, The Quest for More Money.
We'll all meet again.
No, it was Spaceballs 3, The Search for Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
No, it was in the original one.
My
It goes, we're all
favourite
going to meet
bit
again in the
is-
sequel. Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
And
The
then
bit
they
where they
had the
literally
sequel
do
be
some, like-
Spaceballs 3.
They haven't had a
Something-
sequel, though, have they?
Yeah.
They had a television series and it wasn't very good.
Oh. Yes,
The-
Mr. Dog, what can I
best
do
part-
for you?
Of Spaceballs is when they're like, "How are we going to find out where they are?" And it's like, "Easy, I have the VHS for this very film we're in right now."
There's been a
We'll
breakthrough
just
in
watch
VHS
ahead.
technology. The movie's in home before it's even out in theaters. Where are we? We're at now. Everything that's happening now is happening now. What about then? We passed it. When? Just now. We're at now. We'll go back to then. We can't. Why not? We passed it. But, when will then
any
be
of you
now?
seen-
Soon.
I think it was the Children in Need special, the Rowan Atkinson Doctor.
Yes, you're an amazing dog. Oh, yes, you are.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Everybody
They-
say hi
yeah,
to Biko.
they did a parody
Hi,
of Doctor Who, I
Biko.
think, in the 90s, where they had Rowan Atkinson, which is Mr. Bean, play the Doctor. It was great.
Blackadder.
Wait, Rowan Atkinson was a doctor?
Yes, for one, it's not canon. It was
like
a parody.
a
for-
non-canon episode. They had him also
Yeah.
going back in time, and that was fucking great.
When are
The-
they
the
when are
thing-
they gonna make Pee Wee Herman Doctor Who?
No.
He is a bit of a
And
pariah in
that
Hollywood ever
episode-
since. He is a bit of a pariah ever since he got caught in a movie theater jacking it to a porno.
The end
Jacket,
joke
jacket.
of,
He did
of
a
that
Pee
whole-
Wee Herman movie
You're
after that. They got over it.
He hasn't done anything since.
He did like a bunch of Pee Wee movies for Netflix like a couple years ago.
Did he?
Yes.
Oh, I
It's
wasn't
not-
aware of these.
It's Netflix. They show films like cuties.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
fair.
they'll do literally anything.
They'll do
The
anything
thing is
for
about-
money.
Yeah, Doctor Who parody of Rowan Atkinson is that they have a whole skit towards the end where he keeps getting killed by the Daleks and keeps regenerating into different actors. And the end joke of the whole thing, again, this was a joke at the time. The end joke is he becomes a woman at the end. Like the main plot is him and his current companion are planning to retire because they want to get married. And obviously at the end he becomes a woman, and she's like, "I'm sorry, Doctor, and I don't think this has been said ever quite so literally, but you're just not the man I fell in love with."
True. So true.
I mean, yeah.
Netflix should start like the Sex Pest cinematic universe. Get Pee Wee Herman in there. Get like Kevin Spacey, Drake Bell. Just make movies with all the Sex Pests.
Oh,
Wait,
can
hold
we
on.
not?
Have you not paid attention to what Netflix is doing?
Oh, they
Oh,
already
no.
doing that?
Yes! Netflix presents the Sex Pest Cinematic Universe. And glorifying
They
3D.
did do a. Was it Netflix that did the Jeffrey Dahmer show, or was that Amazon?
Yes, that was Netflix.
Of course.
That was the only reason I had a Netflix subscription for a month, was because of the Jeffrey Dahmer thing.
Why is it because you
I-
could be is it because you could be so much of a white woman that you could fawn over a literal
No.
serial
I
killer?
haven't seen
No.
the last series of Cobra Kai,
It's,
but I refuse to keep on it.
No, he fawns over Ross Lynch.
It's
Fair
so
enough.
weird. So I've said this publicly before, that one of the jobs that I wanted to do was be an FBI profiler when I was a kid. I find the mental workings of serial killers and stuff like that to be amazing. That is why I have all of Ted Kaczynski's writings. Just the mental state of what they are is amazing to me. Don't know why. It just is.
Autism, everyone.
Mhm.
Literal autism.
He's just like me, for real, for real. He actually did it.
Lord.
Well, Ted Kaczynski actually was autistic. They
Yep,
tested
and
him.
he was also locked up in my state.
Well, it was to keep
Ever
him away
visit
from. It was to keep him away from universities because we all know Southerners don't have universities.
Texas A&U would like to dispute that.
Texas Oil Company would like to dispute what?
Texas A&U,
Oh,
agricultural, and I
I
think
thought
I
you-
fucked up the acronym anyway. So
A&M,
yeah, A&M.
agricultural and military.
I don't think
So-
it's military.
It is military.
Oh, is it?
But-
Okay.
Yes, because one of the things they do to wake all their students up early in the morning is play Reveille. Do you want me to tell you the fun thing about Texas A&M? It's funded by the oil fields in Texas.
Nice.
Whoa.
Oil, guys, it funds your education to tell you that oil is bad.
How ironic.
The irony is ironing. Anyways, let's come to the end of the episode. Ish.
Well, here's the thing, right? How can you make more money off of oil when you've killed every other potential alternative? You just have to make oil more expensive, right?
Sure. Sure.
If you like this episode of the podcast, tune in next time to search for more topics.
Yes.
The Derailed Podcast. When are we ever going to make it through an entire list of topics?
When are we ever going to be able to talk about gaming again? Can the industry just stop dying for a second?
I mean,
The
we could talk
industry
about
did
how I've been
stop-
playing Pathfinder.
No,
industry-
can the industry continue to die and let the independents take over and the AAA can burn and all of their CEOs can be,
Well, I mean,
know,
I want to.
persecuted for crimes against gamers and humanity?
Crimes against gamers. Because
You guys
they're
just need
the
to be
most...
Nintendo gamers like me.
Yeah,
The
let's.
most depressed demographic on the internet.
All right, so the first against the wall will be the Nintendo supporters.
Wrong. Nintendo is
Yeah.
actually good.
Did
No,
you hear
Nintendo
me?
is a piece of shit.
Did you
Nintendo
Fuck
hear
is a
what?
Nintendo.
genuinely
Oh,
Did you
Mario's
hear-
gay. It's not realistic enough. Like,
No, I'm
No,
talking
no.
about the fact that Nintendo just patented a gameplay mechanic, therefore opening up the floodgates for anything to be, considered gameplay mechanic and copyrightable,
Wait,
killing
haven't
the
they been doing that for
entirety.
years?
Oh no,
Or
this is
not
the
that it's
Pal World
good,
thing.
but-
No, this is the Pal World thing, which we
Oh,
didn't
okay.
get to in this episode.
Yeah, I do love the strangulation of indie successes by mega corporations. Yeah, Nintendo's
Yeah,
really good for doing
Yeah,
that.
we've
At least
patented
they
this
make at least they
gameplay
make
mechanic.
good video
What the
games.
fuck?
At
Okay?
least they made a video game.
At least
Oh,
they
yeah.
make good video games. Okay.
No,
They,
Like,
no,
like,
all of the
they-
Nintendo
this-
executives should commit seppuku.
Hold
Exactly.
on.
Nintendo does not
Let's
make
not
games.
say Germany had good
Publish.
healthcare. I mean, guys, come on.
Guys, are we talking about the same Nintendo that just successfully sued a extremely poor, like impoverished family over their son who could not afford a Nintendo Switch, making one out of cardboard?
Or
That's not a
let's
real
see,
lawsuit. There's no fucking
happened.
way.
or the time
That's
they
a meme.
they copyrighted a already in place game mechanic, said that they did that this year, even though Power World came out once before, and then
And there's a
still somehow
million
won.
creature capturing games out there
Mhm.
with the exact same mechanics.
Like the ones Nintendo ripped off. Correct.
Wait,
So,
did
in
Power
other
World
words,
lose the lawsuit?
yeah, Nintendo won, opening the floodgates for any AAA corporation to just be like, nah, we patented that gameplay mechanic.
So is Power World just
This is-
gone now? Can you not get it anymore, or do they just
No,
like,
you
steal
can't
the
throw
money?
capture spears in Power World anymore.
Oh,
Even
The
though that
fuck?
was a mechanic in Hack and Tenchi Muyo. There's a lot of games that had it
Again,
before Pokemon.
Nintendo executives should be drug off and forced to commit seppuku.
They're also
And
waging
you,
war on emulation, modding,
you doubted me
archiving and preservation
on
of games.
you doubted me on
They're
them
evil.
suing a impoverished family over a piece of cardboard.
I
Nintendo
did.
sues 9-year-old Paco Gutierrez for cardboard console factor fishing. Paco, age 9, always wanted a Nintendo console. However, due to being extremely poor, living in Venezuela, it was just a distant dream. Using his creativity with the help from his uncle, he made a cardboard Super Mario game, posted on YouTube. The video went viral. Thanks to the video, Nintendo CEO
We're not going to
Doug
call him by his
Bowser
actual name. He's just going to be called Dickhead McFuckface.
personally traveled to Venezuela to give Paco a cease and desist order and sue his family for $200 million.
Wow.
Everything I'm reading on like fact check websites says it's a meme that you're describing. That it's that
It's
real.
factually true. I don't know
I
what the
need
fuck
to see this. Put this on the thing. I need to see this.
Look,
Holy shit, this is
Ni-
real. Paco Gutierrez, age
Nintendo-
9, wanted a Nintendo console, made his own
Currently set the
out of fucking
precedent.
cardboard.
It has
What's
set a
true? Yes, you
legal-
read that right. A young prodigy from Venezuela named Paco Gutierrez decided to take matters into his own hands when the elusive dream of owning a Switch was impossible.
Nintendo are currently trying to set a legal precedent right now, which if they succeed, it will be the end of modding. They're trying to say that modding a game is infringing on copyright.
It's infringing
of that game.
on.
If they manage to do that, that will become the precedent for the industry, and modding will be dead because it will literally be illegal.
1 second, I'm having an argument with my dog over what is it not allowed to eat. Stop chewing that.
Case, you'll be able to find mods will be on pirate websites,
No,
which
it's
will
one
be
of
shut
those
down
things.
every time Nintendo becomes aware of them, just like every emulation site and an archiving site. Whenever Nintendo becomes aware of it, they shut it down. Nintendo are a publisher. They don't make games. They have development companies under them that make games. They don't make the games.
One of
Wait,
the
like
first
don't they make like Mario and shit? Like a lot of their
No,
games are other
No,
developers.
they have companies under them that make those games.
One of the first major internet takedowns ever to happen was fucking Nintendo taking down a Pokemon porn site.
Damn it! How could they do this to me?
Oh god, one of the earliest demonetization things on YouTube was Nintendo. One of the earliest mass. I think it's changed over the years, but I still refuse to talk about Shining Force 4 for a reason.
Sonic 3, good movie. Shout out to Sega.
Sega can burn in hell too.
But no, Nintendo will take down your content on YouTube if you too heavily criticize them for their mechanics.
Fuck you,
That's
Nintendo.
not
Fuck your entire
true.
staff.
Why-
Fuck everyone that's in your executive suite. Fuck you, Nintendo.
Yeah, and they don't care if you have the legal right to post anything too. Like, for example, that Pokemon porn site was actually within parody law. It doesn't exist anymore.
Almost like
Okay,
Nintendo's a bunch
I'm
of
not down in
shit.
the Pokemon porn thing, but Nintendo is not like an autistic guy on YouTube. They're not banning videos for criticizing
Yes,
their
they
video
are.
games.
Jackie said
Yes, they
videos
are.
are personally
Yes,
banned.
they are.
Dude, there was an entire period on YouTube where you could not post anything about a Nintendo game because it would take down your entire channel.
Unless you
Yeah,
buy
because
their-
that was their stupid line in the sand that you weren't allowed to play Nintendo games because they're It wasn't because you were criticizing Nintendo
Okay,
games. It's 'cause
so
they said you weren't allowed to play them.
okay, no. So one of the YouTube channels that I used to watch, Brain Scratch Commentaries. Shout out to them, by the way. They are excellent video game commentators. Back in the late 2000s, early 2010s, they dealt with the same exact issue. They couldn't play any Nintendo games because of Nintendo's policy.
Hmm?
They couldn't play the new Mario game. They couldn't play any of the other Nintendo games from that time. They wanted to do Legend of Zelda commentaries. They couldn't because of Nintendo's policies. This is an actual thing.
So,
And-
in short, Nintendo, anyone there that's watching this can suck my fucking balls.
One of the
I
things a
agree
lot
that
of
all
people
these things are bad, but I'm still gonna play the new Mario game.
Oh, I would
Fucking
100%
simp.
play it. I would just, torrent it, put it on ROM, because fuck Nintendo, fuck their entire executive staff, and fuck their bottom line.
Fair enough. As long as you
What-
acknowledge
what-
that the Mario is
Studios
good,
does
you're allowed
not
to steal it.
endorse these words of Toon. However, they are his personal opinion that he holds deeply.
But no, one of the big
That's
things
right,
that a lot-
everyone at the Nintendo executive board. I hope all of you get in car accidents.
Please don't say that. That's how we lost the guy that created the Game Boy and Wonder Spawn, and he was actually a cool guy.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the super stupid rich investors that are just like, plebeians, BlackRock.
But no, there's actually a time period that a lot of people don't remember where, in order to upload a video on YouTube or stream on Twitch, because this is a little bit before YouTube streaming was a big thing, you had to be part of the Nintendo certified group, which
No,
means
I remember that.
you had to give a portion of your ad revenue and any donations to Nintendo for playing their game.
Remember,
And
Nintendo is an evil
probably not be allowed
corporation
to
staffed by
criticize the game either.
bastards.
They always
Yes.
stopped this when their competitors started getting a lot more fucking traction because all of the Nintendo Let's Players started playing PlayStation
No.
games.
No,
Yep.
no. Do you want to know what caused it to stop? Do you really want to know what caused it to stop? Twitch drops.
Hmm.
Because Twitch drops was causing a big shift away from Nintendo into other games that are more multiplayer friendly. You know, all the things Nintendo was like, oh, we're family and community fun. And then all of a sudden these companies are like, yeah, but we partnered with Twitch through their API and you get these neat little ad or bonuses if you watch somebody play our games. That actually is what caused Nintendo to back down on that.
Damn.
Yeah. It's literally Nintendo doesn't know how to deal with the viral market. Nintendo's still massively behind on internet infrastructure.
Nintendo.
Yeah, one
And a
of
lot
the
of-
worst companies in the industry.
And Sony.
And it's
Fuck
funny
AAA
because
gaming.
if you was to go back to the 80s and 90s, Nintendo was a great company.
Yeah, up until the crash, and they're just kind of like, you know what we need to do? We need to be absolute shitbags for the rest of our existence. And everybody at Nintendo stopped wanking for 5 seconds and thought, hey, that's a great idea. Let's be a bunch of litigational fuckwits.
They
That's
recently
another
took
one.
down a major
Litigious.
video game archival site.
And if we're
Mhm.
very, very lucky, and if there is indeed a god, every single one of them will spontaneously combust. Which isn't an actionable offense. No one can get mad at me, and no one can take any legal action against me for that. That's just a thing
Not
that
only
happens,
that, but
okay? A spontaneous
they-
combustion is an act of God.
The Nintendo Museum right now got caught. You can play the Nintendo games in the museum. They're running on emulators. All of them are on PCs running on emulators.
It's almost like Nintendo's a piece of shit company. Run by bastards.
It's almost like all they care about is money.
Like
Not
Sony,
just that, is
Capcom, and all of the
people
AAA
were
chain.
begging them for years to re-release their old games because, again, like the Nintendo Wii and Wii U had emulators on them, so you could play older games. And people were like, "Well, you keep stopping us from pirating like really old like SNES games and blah blah blah. Give us a
Which
legal
is
option
why
to play
I
them."
pirated the entirety of the NES and
And people are like,
SNES library,
"Please,
and there's nothing
please
Nintendo can
put
do.
these games on the Switch." And Nintendo were like, "Okay, we'll give you these old games, but you could, in order to play them, they're going to be digital only, and you can't even install them. You have to pay a subscription to stream them."
Whatever.
Yeah,
it's
fuck
like
that.
Can't even own
$50
the
a
game.
year.
Yeah, I'm not paying that. I'm just gonna, pirate them, and Nintendo can gargle my chode.
It's not just that; it will be completely dependent on your internet connection, and so
Okay.
you can't
No, it's
install
not.
the
You don't have
game.
to
You
stream
can't
them.
own
You
it.
don't have to stream them. I have a Switch. I'm an expert on this. It just, you have to have Switch. You don't necessarily have to be online the whole time you're playing the game. It'll let you play them offline.
But only in specific areas with Nintendo-specific code, but only if you have the Nintendo cock.
Or
Yes,
can
you have to have the
emulate.
Nintendo cock in your mouth in order to play the games.
Yeah,
but you don't have to have
no.
internet.
The thing is Nintendo's corporate policies are weird. I will admit to that. And when it
They're a
comes to
very
Sony,
Japanese company. That's
when
the
it
problem.
comes to Sony, I have a list of things I could say about Sony.
They're
A
evil.
list. Trust me,
Evil.
I would like to look at them and go, but why Sony?
I'm
Why?
gonna make an entire song about how shit the AAA gaming industry is and list every single corporation's sins.
So, 90% of anime now goes through Sony before it comes to the US.
Yep.
Do you
And
know
as
what
we all know, Sony is also a giant piece of shit.
Sony's headquarters are in San Francisco? Just saying.
I just said they were a giant piece of shit.
But the fun thing about this is Sony has been removing problematic animes from Crunchyroll.
Hmm.
And redubbing them to add in woke shit to them.
Mhm.
Not just that, but any Japanese game with an anime art style that has anything even remotely lewd or sexual, even if it's just a slightly revealing outfit, gets censored. But if you play a Western game with characters like Abby from Last of Us 2 or the bear scene in fucking Baldur's Gate 3, you're allowed to watch that and get off to it. You're not allowed to get off to attractive anime women.
No,
Because again, they've fully embraced the woke ideology that they have to censor anything that appeals to men and only push ugly and degenerate shit instead.
oh no, it's even more hilarious because those same women pushing for all this DEI shit, they're all fucking ugly as sin. So they're demanding that you wank to women that look like them instead of attractive women. It's hilarious because they know that they cannot be attractive in any way, shape, or form, no matter how much they try, because they refuse to try. They don't
We
actually
pointed this
try
out
to lose weight. They don't
in a
actually
video.
try.
Game comes out in Japan. It was like a JRPG. One of it's not even a lewd game. It's just a JRPG. One of the female characters has it'll have a bit of cleavage showing. In the PlayStation version, it's covered up. She has a black shirt underneath. At the same time, Baldur's Gate 3 comes out on the PlayStation, where you can watch a guy get fucked by a bear, and that's completely fine, uncensored. Sony's even pushing it and talking about how great this game is. You're not allowed to look at a little bit of boob on a woman in a Japanese game.
To be fair, you do choose if the bear thing happens or not.
But it's the fact that it's there
The fact,
and they
the
allow
fact that
that.
it's there in the beginning is fucking abysmal.
You do get to choose. It's funny to me. Because I remember when that was a huge thing. When that
You're
originally-
allowed to watch the Abby sex scene in Last of Us 2. You're not allowed to see, an attractive anime girl.
Oh, hell no. Attractive anime girl will destroy Western society. Anyways, I said this 15 minutes ago, and now, 20 minutes ago now. It is time to wrap up the podcast. So, for our closing speedball arguments, who are you and where the fuck do I find you?
I'll start with the last to join. Riley, go.
Hey everybody, you can check me out at linktr.ee/Riley Cinematic Universe. That's RIELY Cinematic Universe. There's lots of YouTube channels and podcasts there and stuff. And if you like live streamed podcasts like this one, you can tune into the Demi Gloom YouTube channel once a week on Saturdays at noon Eastern Time for the Trans Fat Experience.
Go there and tell them how much Nintendo shit.
Yeah.
Regis.
Alright, I am Regis, also known as Regis Theron. You can find me at Viator Marsus. I am a shit poster. I enjoy many things. You'll probably see me reposting a bunch of Final Fantasy XIV G poses because, god damn, some of them are really actually talented.
Hey, remember that time you had to wear a sweater?
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway,
Yeah, I still have pictures.
joke's on you. I still have the outfit of my fucking glamour prisms. Anyway, but yeah, come check me out. I don't do anything. I don't stream or anything. I am considering it, but I'd rather not have a gun in my mouth, metaphorically. Because as evidenced by today, I like racial slurs.
All right, Shadow.
I
That's
still
what I.
don't have anything people can check out.
Well, who are you?
Who the fuck are you, other than a British woman, man?
Explain.
How did you get
Explain.
here? What are you
How did
doing
you get-
here?
what are you doing?
Explain.
How
He
did you get
wandered
in here?
He wandered in one day.
Yes.
Where's
And
Rachel?
Jackie locked the door behind me.
That wasn't me. I don't know who
Alright,
locked.
Worf. Worf's dead.
Who's dead?
Worf is dead, everyone. If you
Worf.
wanted to check him out, you're too late.
He's
I'm
gone.
Worf at True Worficus on X.
No. He's not Worf. He's Wah.
Shut the
Please-
fuck up.
He's
Please put,
Warficus.
Please
Yeah,
put
that's
rest
what we
in
call him.
pepperonis all over his profile.
Yeah, I do a light novel. New chapter should be out either tonight or tomorrow.
More like
Probably
working on
writing than
notes.
writing. Ayo! I'm kidding. I've
We're
never
working
read
on
it.
notes.
Mhm.
I just linked my
I had
Twitter
to
in the
do-
chat.
Okay, it's a little late. I had to do a shit ton of rewrites on this one. Yeah.
Mm.
Did not like what it came out to be.
I'm the Took. Find me at a Game Boy Color on Twitter. That way I can make fun of you. Fuck Nintendo.
Probably.
Fuck all AAA gaming. Let them burn. I don't care
Yeah.
what happens to the CEOs. Let them all spontaneously combust.
You have Game Boy Color in your Twitter name, but you hate Nintendo?
Oh god, I hate Nintendo.
Okay.
In all fairness, this is just a random name I chose. It has absolutely nothing to do with anything else.
Fair enough.
Yeah. We'll probably be doing a game stream after this, just because I haven't been streaming a lot lately, and I want to do something. I guess a little bit anyway.
You're not allowed to have a life.
I'm not allowed to have a life. I'm not allowed to be sick. I have to sit in front of the computer screen 24/7, obviously.
Get on the content!
But as most of you know, I'm Jackie Wolf. You can find me most places as Jackie Wolf because 90% of my personality is Jackie Wolf.
The other 10% is definitely we haven't been able to discover or pinpoint down. Please, if you have any suggestions for what it might be, leave it in the comments.
But yeah, until next time, my dudes. Thanks for watching, shit like that.
And remember, fuck Nintendo.
And
Goodbye,
remember,
everybody.
Have a good
President of
evening,
Cynical
everyone.
President of Cynical Kin Studios loves you. Now pay us money.
Have a good evening.
Yeah.
And
Have
on
a
a
good-
closing argument, the Candira will and can show up inside your pee hole. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good evening,
Oh.
everyone. Please take care, and as always, stay sexy, you beautiful motherfuckers.